By now, sadly, you've all learned of the unspeakably tragic news of our beloved Whitney's passing.
Why did you let the party go on?
Of course, this is a personal thing, but the Grammys were the next night. You don't cancel.
Every day I was with her, I was not happy.
Right.
Like, I was not happy.
Right. It was the right thing.
And I saw myself, like, I was like, yo, I'm on top of the world.
Right.
Look at all the people I'm shaking hands with right now.
Want to know what Clive Davis did for Whitney Houston? And the next thing you know, she's dead. Ray J was the last person to see her alive. He let the drug dealer in.
The question on everyone's minds, did these two men seriously profit from Whitney's devastating death? Or even worse, were they actually behind a dark and twisted plot that took her life? The truth will leave you speechless.
Singer Whitney Houston, one of the greatest voices of our generation, CNN has gotten confirmation from her representative, has died.
Let me take you back to that heartbreaking day, February 11th, 2012. The entire world stood still as news of Whitney Houston's death spread like wildfire. The legendary singer was found lifeless in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, just hours before Clive Davis's annual pre-Grammy party. While they told us it was an accidental drowning, honey, let me tell you, the people closest to Whitney weren't buying that story one bit. I mean, how could someone as vibrant and larger than life as Whitney Houston just be gone?
The setup. Yes. Nick was told not to let her go out of that house and to do whatever it was he got paid to do.
And darling, Leolah Brown wasn't the only one raising eyebrows. The moment Whitney passed, the rumor mill started churning about the people who were with her in those final hours. And one name kept coming up again and again, Clive Davis. You know him, the legendary music mogul who discovered Whitney and turned her into an international superstar.
Here she was, just turning 19, and she was stunning beauty, stunning vocalist, and I brought her on national television. I introduced her for the next generation.
But honey, let me spill the real tea. Behind that caring mentor facade, there was apparently a man hiding some seriously dark secrets. Singer Jaguar Wright dropped a bombshell when she claimed Whitney's death was absolutely no accident. According to her, Whitney had discovered millions of dollars missing from her earnings and was planning to leave Clive's record label. And trust me, this isn't the first time Clive Davis's name has been mixed up in controversy. He's been a powerhouse in the music industry for decades, launching careers of legends like Whitney Houston and Biggie Smalls. But you know what they say, with great power comes great scandal. Davis's name has been linked to several suspicious deaths, most notably Biggie's. Some people believe that just like Whitney, Biggie's death was orchestrated to keep him from leaving the label and taking his talent and those precious earnings elsewhere. Wright didn't hold back, honey. She explicitly called out Clive Davis, accusing him of exploiting Whitney's talent and struggles for his own gain. The tea is scalding hot.
Ain't a film to celebrate Whitney Houston. This is a film to, pay the pipe.
And when it comes to Davis's supposed efforts to help Whitney overcome her challenges before her death, child, please. Wright spilled all the details about how Davis sent Whitney on an international tour despite knowing about her ongoing substance struggles. But hold on to your seats because Clive Davis isn't the only one in Wright's crosshairs. In a shocking revelation, Jaguar Wright dropped another bombshell. Ray J was allegedly the last person to see Whitney Houston alive. And get this, she claims he was the one who let the substance dealer into Whitney's room to drug her.
She's dead. Ray J was the last person to see her alive. He let the drug dealer in, but she was sober, right? But he let the drug dealer in that gave her the shot.
But wait, it gets even more disturbing. According to Wright, Whitney had been beaten up before her death. And while Jaguar didn't name names, all fingers are pointing straight at Ray J. In fact, after learning about Whitney's substance use being one of the causes of her death, Bobby Brown's sister Leolah dropped another shocking revelation. She claimed that Ray J knew someone who sold substances and accused him of being Whitney's supplier. Leolah says she saw it with her own eyes. Ray J leaving Whitney's hotel room when her former sister-in-law died. She called him out as nothing but a runner boy for the music legend, claiming he knew exactly who to buy substances from to supply to Whitney. And if that's not shocking enough, honey, let me tell you about this resurfaced interview where Ray J actually had the audacity to say he could get Whitney to be sober if he wanted to. This was while Whitney was still alive, which basically means he was controlling her the whole time. The most disgusting part? In that same interview, Ray J actually admitted to using Whitney for clout. Can you believe the nerve?
Every day I was with her, I was not happy. Right. Like, I was not happy. Right. It was the right thing. And I saw myself, like, I was like, yo, I'm on top of the world. Right. Look at all the people I'm shaking hands with right now.
It's crystal clear that Ray J couldn't care less about Whitney. He was just using her to boost his own fame. And get this, at her funeral, this man had the nerve to grab her casket and put on a show of fake tears, all for attention and to boost his career. Now, honey, let me tell you about Ray J's change of heart in 2017. During Celebrity Big Brother, he suddenly got all emotional and confessed his guilt to singer Stacey Francis. He said, "Stacey and I, we had a conversation about what happened with Whitney Houston before she passed. I never talk about it, but it was something I felt she wanted to talk about and it was the right time. So we talked briefly about it and I told them how I felt, how I blamed myself on a lot of stuff." And get this, Ray J claims that media outlets were throwing millions at him to spill Whitney's secrets after her death, but he turned them all down. He said, "I had so many people calling me offering millions of dollars to have an interview. I was like, I don't need the money, it's not good money, that's just not right. My karma would be bad." Now let me give you the tea on Whitney and Ray J's relationship because, child, it's quite a story. Whitney was already a mega superstar when she met Ray J in the early 2000s. Meanwhile, Ray J was just a baby in the industry, still a teenager. He'd done some acting on shows like The Sinbad Show and Moshe, and had just dropped his first album, Everything You Want, in 1997. But let me tell you, he was absolutely starstruck by Whitney's talent and presence. Nobody knows exactly how these two crossed paths, but they got close real quick. They were spotted everywhere together. Parties, events, you name it. Ray J even showed up on Whitney's reality show Being Bobby Brown in 2005. That show gave everyone a front row seat to Whitney and Bobby's rocky relationship, but it also showed just how fond Whitney was of Ray J. As time went on, the rumors started flying. Some people swore up and down that Whitney and Ray J were more than just friends, while others insisted they were just close buddies. Neither of them ever confirmed or denied what was really going on. After Whitney passed in 2012, Ray J was supposedly devastated. In interviews, he kept calling her his mentor and friend, saying, "I really miss my friend, you know, I really do. I'm still hurting." But honey, let's not forget about Clive Davis's involvement in all this mess. The revelations about how he might have profited from Whitney's death have sent shockwaves through the music industry. And let me tell you about this shady little thing called the death clause. It's been the industry's dirty little secret for years. This death clause, darling, is absolutely shocking. It's a sneaky little provision that gives record companies unbelievable power to profit even after an artist dies. And we're not talking pocket change here, we're talking billions. These companies take out massive insurance policies on their artists' projected earnings. Can you believe the nerve?
Think about this for a moment. When an artist signs his name on the dotted line to a record company, the record company will in many cases own all of the masters for the songs recorded under that contract. And when an artist signs to a major label, it's safe to say that their death is in many ways factored into the initial investment. And in many ways, after an artist has peaked in popularity, there becomes an awkward point in their career where the artist is worth more to them dead than alive.
The way this sinister clause works is honestly chilling. These record labels become beneficiaries of both the artist's life and death. It used to be worth thousands, but now we're talking billions, honey. And the worst part, they try to justify it by saying it's to protect their investments in developing new talent. Please. Now let's talk about Clive Davis's possible connection to all this. People are starting to ask questions about whether he benefited from Whitney's tragic death through this clause. While there's no smoking gun, industry insiders are coming forward with some disturbing stories about his role in all this. And oh my goodness, let me tell you about what Amanda Gallass had to say. Just days after Whitney died, she took to Facebook and called Davis a colossal pig. She said Whitney should have had at least 2 years with a voice therapist before even thinking about performing again. But no, Davis just had to push her back on stage before she was ready. Galas didn't mince words, writing, "What was she